Oh my God.
Look how bro walking out is crazy.
Jesus Christ.
He don't even look real.
Holy
Y'all ready for this,
shit.
y'all?
I'm
Like,
fucking
it's kind of
excited.
crazy, man.
Like our
Honestly, like
grandpa.
I can
I
literally just
cannot
pick hip hop and rap
believe this
drums.
shit, dog.
Now,
If you
please
fuck
welcome
with the
the
vibe,
46th president.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe, man.
Jeez.
Now, please welcome the 46th president of the United States, Joe Biden.
Folks, how are you?
That's insane. He doesn't even know where he don't even know where he's walking, bro. He had to point at it. See? Do I go here? Hold up. Run it back real fast.
Please welcome the 45th
He had to point at
president.
this shit. This is where I stand.
Biden.
Folks, how are you?
Look. Where I go?
Like this beat right here.
This beat right here. Do
Oh
I?
my God.
And please welcome the 45th president of the United States, Donald Trump.
You look angry all the time.
Oh God, he look. Oh God, he look
Never
angry.
smiled.
President Trump, we will get to immigration later in this block. President Biden, I want to give you an opportunity to respond to this
Look at
question
him.
about the national debt.
He had the largest national debt of any president in a four-year period, number one. Number two, that $2 trillion tax cut benefited the very wealthy. What I'm going to do is fix the tax system. For example, we have 1,000 trillionaires in America. I mean, billionaires in America. And what's happening? They're in a situation where they, in fact, pay 8.2% in taxes. If they just paid 24%, 25%, either one of those numbers, they'd raise $500 million, billion dollars, I should say, in a 10-year period. We'd be able to wipe out his debt. We'd be able to help make sure that all those things we need to do, child care, elder care, making sure that we continue to strengthen our healthcare system, making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the COVID, with
God!
everything we have to do with.
Look at Trump like, okay. You fucking up over there, huh?
We finally beat Medicare.
Look at face.
Thank you, President Biden. President
What?
Trump.
Wait.
Well, he's right. He
Wait.
did beat
What?
Medicare. He beat it to death, and he's destroying Medicare because all of these people are coming
Wait, can you
in.
pause
They're
it?
putting them on
Can we go back to the question? So I
Dog.
can at least try to listen, like, and see if they on the right track. Okay, why does Trump believe top earners and corporations should pay even less in taxes than they do? Oh, okay.
So you believe rich people should pay
It
less?
sounds like he said more,
Immigration.
though.
No, he was saying they there's 1,000 billionaires and they should pay like 24-25% in tax.
But he said that they were paying 8
Yeah.
already, but...
So Trump thinks they should pay even less.
Okay, got you.
Yeah.
Later.
So I guess
They
he kind of,
5%, either one of those numbers.
He kinda
They'd
answered.
raise
But that
$500
nigga,
million.
He just sounded
billion
crazy
dollars, I should say,
answering it
in
though.
a
But I
10-year period.
get it.
We'd be able to wipe out his debt. We'd be able to help make sure that all those things we need to do, child
Shit,
care,
that's crazy.
elder care, making sure that we continue to strengthen our healthcare system, making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the with the COVID. With dealing with everything we have to do with. Look.
Go!
We finally
Say
beat
it!
Medicare.
Thank you, President
Oh
Biden.
my
President Trump.
God!
Bro, where is
God damn!
where- I know he old. I
Alright.
know he's lived a lot of life. I'm sure he's gave many speeches in his life, but there's
That's
gotta
your
come
president.
A time.
That's who you want. That's who you
Hey.
want. You chose him. That's your president.
Not necessarily, but I am just saying, like, as a team, I'll be like, hey man, we got to get this bro. We got to do some speech classes, some coaching. We got to get him ready.
They got to do
Because
something.
he's not ready.
He not ready. Obviously.
Like, this is
I
kind of
think he
wild.
just-
This is
old.
terrible. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You
That's
got it.
definitely a
You
part
got
of
it. This nigga's old as fuck.
I think regardless of preparation, he old. So
This
he
nigga
kind of just
old,
can't handle
dog.
too much.
That's a part of it.
Good
for sure.
God, boy. This nigga pissed on himself when he said that answer. I know it. He got his diaper on, bro.
Well, he's right. He did beat Medicare. He beat it to death, and he's destroying Medicare because all of these people are coming in. They're putting them on Medicare. They're putting them on Social Security. They're going to destroy Social Security. This man is going to single-handedly destroy Social Security. These millions and millions of people coming in, they're trying to put them on Social
It is
Security.
scary.
He will wipe out Social Security. He will wipe out Medicare. So he was right in the way he finished that sentence. And it's a shame what's happened to our country
Joe, what is
in the
going
last
on?
4 years.
He's trying to stay
is
awake.
Not to be believed. Foreign countries are friends with a lot of people. They cannot believe what happened to the United States of America. They no longer respect it. They don't like us. We give them everything they want, and they think we're stupid. They think we're very stupid people. What we're doing for countries, I'm friends with a lot of people. They cannot believe what happened to the United States of America. We're no longer respected. They don't like us. We give them everything they want, and they think we're stupid. They think we're very stupid people. What we're doing for other countries, and they do nothing for us. What this man has done is absolutely criminal.
We are kind of slow.
No living
What
being
he's doing is
should ever eat
criminal.
processed
That's
food for
crazy.
every
Yeah, that
single
is
meal.
wild.
That's insane.
President Trump.
That is very crazy.
That's wild
he
as
tried to
fuck.
sneak that in there too.
Bruh.
That is crazy.
You're dog, and at that point you're gonna be like, "What I'm doing is criminal."
Fact. And I bet he don't
and that's
do it.
all he had to say.
Yeah,
that's
he
literally-
don't do it. I'm sure he doesn't.
Of course he doesn't. He's old as shit.
What this man has done is absolutely criminal.
President Trump, staying on the topic of immigration, you've said that you're going to carry out, quote, the largest domestic deportation operation in American history, unquote. Does that mean that you will deport every undocumented immigrant in America, including those who have jobs, including those whose spouses are citizens, and including those who have lived here for decades? And if so,
That's exactly what I was getting ready to say. I was like, that shit don't match though. That shit don't match
People we
right
killed
there.
are al-Baghdadi and Soleimani, the two greatest terrorists, biggest terrorists anywhere in the world, and it had a huge impact on everything, not just border, on everything. He's the one that killed people with the bad water, including hundreds of thousands of people dying, and also killing our citizens when they come in. We are living right now in a rat's nest. They're killing our people in New York, in California, in every state in the union, because we don't have borders anymore. Every state is now a border. And because of his ridiculous, insane, and very stupid policies, people are coming in and they're killing our citizens at a level that we've never seen. We call it migrant crime. I call it Biden migrant crime. They're killing our citizens at a level that we've never seen before. And you're reading it like these three incredible young girls over the last few days. One of them we just spoke to the mother. And he just had the funeral for this girl, 12 years old. This is horrible what's taken place. What's taken place in our country, we're literally an uncivilized country now. He doesn't want it to be. He just doesn't know. He opened the borders. Nobody's ever seen anything like. And we have to get a lot of these people out, and we have to get them out fast because they're going to destroy our country. Just take a look at where they're living. They're living in luxury hotels in New York City and other places. Our veterans are on the street. They're dying because he doesn't care about our veterans. He doesn't care. He doesn't like the military at all. And he doesn't care about our veterans. Nobody been worse. I had the highest approval rating for veterans taking care of the VA. He has the worst. He's gotten rid of all the things that I approved.
He at least has to be attentive. He at least has to seem like he's attentive, dog. Bro, keep your head up, dog. Look straight. Stop. Stop. Dog, this is bad. Swole, you don't see this?
It's rough, bro. I mean,
Dog,
it's
this
rough.
is not
It's
good.
bad on both sides.
Huh?
Both sides is crazy.
It is insane.
Like, this is-
Both sides is
It's
insane.
like, I don't know if I want to listen to what Trump's saying. It's just like crazy.
And you know
Or,
what's
like,
crazy?
watch Biden.
And you know what's so wild is that we know that Trump full of bullshit, so we just focusing on Biden just to
Exactly.
see what this nigga like. At least how he's responding to the
Yeah.
bullshit that this nigga. We ain't even listening to Trump. We just trying to pay attention to. Bro, wake up. What the fuck?
Choice that I got through Congress, all of the different things I approved, they abandoned. We had by far the highest, and now it's down in less than half because he's done all these great things that we did, and I think he did it just because I approved it, which is crazy. But he has killed so many people at our border by
Thank you,
allowing
President Trump.
all of these people to come in.
President.
And it's a
Biden.
very sad day in America.
President Biden, you have the mic.
Every single thing he said is a lie. Every single one. For example, that-
Look at these niggas' faces. What?
All the processing he just went through, his first words are, everything he said was a lie. Oh my gosh, that was intense.
Dog,
That was intense.
I love this.
He
I ain't gonna
jumped
lie
right
to you.
in too. He did not wait or anything.
I
Everything
love
he said was a lie.
This is comical. I love
Oh
it.
my
This is the best.
This nigga Biden.
I feel like Biden low-key has a lot of grit in this debate because of how he responds.
Yo,
Everything he says is a lie.
fucking insane.
Like, let's just cut it off.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're a hell of a lot better off since I passed the PACT Act. 1 million of them now have insurance, and their families have it. Their families have it because what happened, whether it was Agent Orange or burn pits, they're all being covered now. And his group opposed that. We're also in a situation where we have great respect for veterans. My son spent a year in Iraq, living right next to one of those burn pits, came back with stage 4 glioblastoma. I was recently in France for D-Day.
God,
And I
this is
spoke
crazy.
all about those
This is
heroes
not
that
real.
died. I went to the World War II cemetery, World War I cemetery he refused to go to.
Iraq,
Yo.
back in a garbage can.
This is a little embarrassing.
What? What is going?
As,
What?
As an American
Oh, his
citizen.
words like merged.
What the fuck? What does that have to do with anything?
Both of them are
This
very
is
embarrassing.
insane.
No.
They are, but
Give
you
me-
got it. Biden is just on another level,
No.
dog.
No.
Here we go.
I
Don't
got
do
it.
Biden. Don't do Biden. At least I feel like what Biden says makes sense. It's hard to comprehend.
Yeah.
And Trump is just, I don't know what's going on. Can we go back like 5 seconds just to hear what he was talking about?
To the World War II D-Day, and I spoke all about those heroes that died. I went to the World War II cemetery, World War I cemetery he refused to go to. He was standing with his 4-star general, and he told me, he said, I don't want to go in there because they're a bunch of losers and suckers. My son was not a loser, was not a sucker. You're the sucker. You're the loser.
President Trump?
First of all, that was a
This
You
nigga
can't
was
say
like,
that.
I'm a
You're a
presidential
president.
candidate. I'm going to call this nigga a loser
Sucker
and a
and a-
sucker.
You cannot
What's
say
going
that on a
on?
You're the
presidential
sucker.
debate.
You're the loser.
What is going on?
You're the sucker. You're the loser.
They got in Biden head. He does not have that
Yeah.
type of heart.
That
Somebody
shit is-
told him to
that
just
shit
go up
is
there and
insane.
be like unapologetic.
It's one of those.
Because why would you call him a sucker and a loser?
That's so insane, bro. It's one of those like roast battles where niggas is really getting in your shit and you just say, yo, mama, nigga.
Right. 'Cause
You know what I'm
ain't got nothing
saying?
else.
Because you don't got nothing else.
Yeah.
You're the sucker. You're the loser.
Right. Like, okay, you told us that whole story to just go in on Trump.
Gosh.
And they actually made you look bad because this is a presidential debate.
Debate.
We're not supposed to.
This is
Oh
Terrible.
my gosh, y'all, we really live in America.
Dog, I don't even
These are
understand.
this is our president.
This is, yeah. Yeah.
This is wild.
Yeah.
This is our president.
Yeah.
No, y'all, like in real time.
In real time.
This
This
is
is
our
this is
president.
not this is not no this is not no game. This is real. This is look, you got me stuttering and shit. Nigga, this is not no game, nigga. This is real life.
Might be a simulation. But
I
this is
agree.
also the former president. And he's saying some wild shit too. Both of them got some
yeah, but
real...
Trump
Nah, we both
kinda-
doomed, dog. We both
I don't know.
doomed. We both
Trump
doomed.
kinda had-
They both doomed.
I'm be quiet.
No, this is the time.
It's
This is
not
the
the
time.
time.
Say it.
Not
Say,
the
hey,
time.
hey,
Trump
it-
won.
it's all right. It'll unfold. More will unfold and unravel as we keep watching the
No,
debate.
let's
It's
keep
fine.
going. Let's
Yeah.
keep going.
up quote, suckers and losers. They made it up. It was in a third-rate magazine that's failing, like many of these magazines. He made that up. He put it in commercials. We've notified him. We had 19 people that said I didn't say it. And think of this. Who would say I'm at a cemetery or I'm talking about our veterans? Because nobody's taken better care. I'm so glad this came up and he brought it up. There's nobody that's taken better care of our soldiers than I have. To
is
think
not
that I
playing with
would,
his
in
hands.
front of generals and others, say suckers and losers. We have 19 people that said it was never said by me. It was made up by him, just like Russia was made up, just like the 51 intelligence agents are made up, just like the new thing with the 16 economists are talking. It's the same thing. 51 intelligence agents said that the laptop was Russia disinformation. It wasn't. That came from his son, Hunter. It wasn't Russia disinformation. He made up the suckers and losers, so he should apologize to me right now.
4-star general standing to your side who was on your staff who said you said it, period. That's number one. And number two, the idea that I have to apologize to you for anything along the line. We've done more for veterans than any president has in American history. and they now are in their family. The only sacred obligation we have as a country is to care for our veterans when they come home and their families and equip them when they go to war. That's what we're doing. That's what the VA is doing now. They're doing more for veterans than ever before in our history.
All right, thank you so much.
All right, that was he put
Topic
that
of foreign
together
policy.
a little
I
bit.
wanna
Okay,
begin with
Biden.
Russia's
Okay,
war
Biden. You put that
against
together a little
Ukraine, which
bit.
is now
Feel like
in its
I'm warmed
third
up
year.
now.
Yeah,
Former
yeah. You put that
Russian
together right there.
President
Okay.
Vladimir Putin says he'll only end
Yeah.
this war
Yeah,
if
for
Russia
sure.
keeps the Ukrainian territory
Oh,
it
hold up.
has
What was
already
the question?
claimed.
My fault.
All right, thank you so much.
Let's move to the topic of foreign policy. I want to begin with Russia's war against Ukraine, which is now in its third year. Former President Trump, Russian President Vladimir Putin says he'll only end this war if Russia keeps the Ukrainian territory it has already claimed and Ukraine abandons its bid to join NATO. Are Putin's terms acceptable to you?
First of all, our veterans and our soldiers can't stand this guy.
Oh my God.
They can't stand
That's
him.
not the fucking
They think he's the
question,
worst commander-in-chief, if that's what you call him, that we've ever had. They can't stand him. So let's get that straight. And they like me more than just about any of them.
Shut the fuck up.
And that's based on
that's not
every
the
single
question.
bit of information. As far as Russia and Ukraine, if we had a real president, the president that knew, that was respected by Putin, he would have never invaded Ukraine. A lot of people are dead right now, much more than people know. You know, they talk about numbers. You can double those numbers, maybe triple those numbers. He did nothing to stop it. In fact, I think he encouraged Russia from going in. I'll tell you what happened. He was so bad with Afghanistan. It was such a horrible embarrassment, most embarrassing moment in the history of our country, that when Putin watched that and he saw the incompetence, that he should have fired those generals, like I fired the one that you mentioned, and so he's got no love lost, but he should have fired those generals. No general got fired for the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country, Afghanistan, where we left billions of dollars of equipment behind. We lost 13 beautiful soldiers, and 38 soldiers were obliterated. And by the way, we left people behind, too. We left American citizens behind. When Putin saw that, he said, you know what? I think we're going to go in and maybe take this was his dream. I talked to him about it, his dream. The difference is he never would have invaded Ukraine. Never. Just like Israel would have never been invaded in a million years by Hamas. You know why? Because Iran was broke with me. I wouldn't let anybody do business with them. They ran out of money. They were broke. They had no money for Hamas. They had no money for anything. No money for terror. That's why you had no terror at all during my administration. This place, the whole world is blowing up under him.
President Biden?
Never heard so much malarkey in my
All right,
He
I
did
will
not answer the question.
He definitely didn't answer the question. But I will say this though, and this is just what like I said, you know, I'm not political, whatever the situation is. But like niggas didn't fuck with Trump, and they didn't do shit. They didn't terrorize shit. They didn't do none of that shit because they didn't know what the fuck that nigga was gonna do in retaliation. They were fucking scared. They were like, this nigga is crazy. We don't know what the fuck he got going on. This nigga bombed Syria or whatever, and I don't even know what the reason was for. I think niggas looked at somebody the wrong way. Some shit like that. This nigga sent a whole bunch of motherfucking planes, bombed Syria, killed everybody, and was like, oh shit, we can't fuck with this nigga, and they didn't do shit afterwards. So, niggas are scared of him. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I don't know about that. I think we had terror in our own country, though. We had a lot of issues.
I agree with
here.
that. I'm talking about internationally. Like world leaders didn't want to cause they didn't know what the fuck Trump was capable. They didn't know what the fuck he was gonna do. So like they was like, nigga, I don't know what Cud got going on, but we just not gonna do nothing while he in office, cause this nigga on some different shit. That's what, yeah.
I think that's his marketing, but I don't necessarily believe that.
Yeah.
I think people are gonna do what they're gonna do, regardless of who is in office. Cause I'm a world leader too. Like if I'm that type of person, I'm a world leader too. Fuck that. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do.
Fuck.
If I want Ukraine, I want Ukraine.
Yeah. Valid. I mean, there's no that nigga wasn't under presidency, so they very well could have still rushed into Ukraine and did what they did, even when Trump was under presidency. That's for sure. Yeah. But that's just what I heard. Somebody told me that. I don't know who told me that, but I'm just literally just emulating what the niggas told me that.
Look, the fact of the matter is that we're in a situation where, let's take the last point first. Iran attacked American troops, caused brain damage for a number of these troops, and he did nothing about it. Recently, not when he was president. They attacked. He said they're just having headaches. That's all it is. He didn't do a thing when the attack took place, number one. Number two, we got over 100,000 Americans and others out of Afghanistan during that airlift. Number three, we found ourselves in a situation where if you take a look at what Trump did in Ukraine, this guy told Trump, do whatever you want, and do whatever you want. And that's exactly what Trump did to Putin, encourage him, do whatever you want. And he went in. And listen to what he said when he went in. He was going to take Kyiv in 5 days, remember? Because it's part of the old Soviet Union. That's what he wanted to reestablish, Kyiv. And he, in fact, didn't do it at all. He wasn't able to get it done. And they've lost thousands and thousands of troops, 500,000 troops.
Former President Trump, Russian President Vladimir Putin says he'll only end this war if Russia keeps the Ukrainian territory it has already claimed and Ukraine abandons its bid to join NATO. Are Putin's terms acceptable to you?
First of all, our veterans and our soldiers can't stand this.
Yeah.
It was such a horrible embarrassment, most embarrassing moment in the history of our country, that when Putin watched that and he saw the incompetence that he should have.
Why? They didn't fix. They added it.
Iran attacked and do whatever you Kyiv, and he.
I never said that.
For 1 minute, I just want to go back to my original question, which is: are Putin's terms acceptable to you? Keeping the territory in Ukraine.
No, they're not acceptable. But look, this is a war that never should have started. If we had a leader in this war, he led everybody along. He's given $200 billion now or more to Ukraine. He's given $200 billion. That's a lot of money. I don't think there's ever been anything like it. Every time that Zelensky comes to this country, he walks away with $60 billion. He's the greatest salesman ever. And I'm not knocking him. I'm not knocking anything. I'm only saying the money that we're spending on this war, and we shouldn't be spending, it should have never happened. I will have that war settled between Putin and Zelensky as president-elect before I take office on January 20th. I'll have that war settled. People being killed so needlessly, so stupidly, and I will get it settled, and I'll get it settled fast before I take office.
President Biden, you have a minute.
The fact is that Putin is a war criminal. He's killed thousands and thousands of people. And he has made one thing clear. He wants to reestablish what was part of the Soviet Empire, not just a piece. He wants all of Ukraine. That's what he wants. And then you think he'll stop there? Do you think he'll stop when if he takes Ukraine? What do you think happens to Poland? What do you think of Belarus? What do you think happens to those NATO countries? And so if you want a war, you ought to find out what he's going to do, because if in fact he does what he says and walks away, by the way, all that money we give Ukraine, the weapons we make here in the United States, we give them the weapons, not the money at this point. And our NATO allies have produced as much funding for Ukraine as we have. That's why we're strong.
Former President Trump, I want to ask you about January 6, 2021. Yep. After you rallied your supporters that day, some of them stormed the Capitol to stop the constitutionally mandated counting of electoral votes. As president, you swore an oath to, quote, preserve, protect, and defend, unquote, the Constitution. What do you say to voters who believe that you violated that oath through your actions and inaction on January 6th and worry that you'll do it again?
Well, I don't think too many believe that. And let me tell you about January 6th. On January 6th, we had a great border. Nobody coming through, very few. On January 6th, we were energy independent. On January 6th, we had the lowest taxes ever. We had the lowest regulations ever. On January 6th, we were respected all over the world. All over the world, we were respected. And then he comes in, and we're now laughed at. We're like a bunch of stupid people. What happened to the United States' reputation under this man's leadership is horrible, including weaponization, which I'm sure at some point you'll be talking about, where he goes after his political opponent because he can't beat him fair and square.
You have 80 seconds left. My question was, what do you say to those voters who believe that you violated your constitutional oath through your actions and inaction on January 6, 2021, and worry that you'll do it again?
Well, I didn't say that to anybody. I said peacefully and patriotically. And Nancy Pelosi, if you just watched the news from 2 days ago, on tape to her daughter, who's a documentary filmmaker, they say, But she's saying, oh, no, it's my responsibility. I was responsible for this. Because I offered her 10,000 soldiers or National Guard,
God.
and she turned them down. And the mayor of, in
That's
writing, by the way, the
crazy.
mayor,
Use his
in
time
writing,
like
turned it
this.
down. The mayor
Dog,
of
this is
D.C.
insane,
They turned it
bro.
down. I offered 10,000 because I could see, I had virtually nothing to do. They asked me to go make a speech. I could see what was happening. Everybody was saying they're going to be there on January 6th. They're going to be there. And I said, you know what? There's a lot of people coming. You could feel it. You could feel it too, and you could feel it. And I said, they ought to have some National Guard or whatever. And I offered it to her. And she now admits that she turned it down. And it was the same day she was, I don't know, she can't be very happy with her daughter because it made her into a liar. She said, I take full responsibility for January 6th.
President Biden?
Oh my God.
Look, he encouraged those folks to go up on Capitol Hill. Number one.
Thank you.
I sat in the dining room off the Oval Office. He sat there for 3 hours watching, begging, being begged by his vice president and a number of his colleagues on the Republican side as well to do something, to call for a stop, to end it. Instead, they talked about these people being patriots and great patrons of America. In fact, he says he'll now forgive them for what they've done. They've been convicted. He says he wants to commute their sentences and say that no. But he went to every single court in the nation. I don't know how many cases, scores of cases, including the Supreme Court, and they said, no, this guy is responsible for doing what was done. He did do a damn thing, and these people should be in jail, and they should be the ones who are being held accountable. And he wants to let them all out. And now he says if he loses again, such a whiner that he is, that it could be a bloodbath.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump?
What they've done.
I don't like his response there because there was so many things that you could have done in response to that. Like the Capitol Hill, what you could have done was you could have like put emphasis on like the storming and the raiding and the significant impact that had on American history. How big that was, how that has, I don't know what the history is, but like that is a significant thing that happened in history. And I think you highlight the people that were harmed. I think you highlight, the people, how taboo this shit is just in relevance to everything that's happened in like decades and years. You put a capitalization and emphasis on that. This nigga's just talking about how, how he's kind of deflecting or whatever the case is. That was, I think, a wasted opportunity. But I don't know if Biden knows how to do that. So, yeah.
Some people that are so innocent, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. What you have done, how you've destroyed the lives of so many people when they ripped down Portland, when they ripped down many other cities. You go to Minnesota, Minneapolis, what they've done there with the fires all over the city. If I didn't bring in the National Guard, that city would have been destroyed. When you look at all of they took over big chunks of Seattle. I was all set to bring in the National Guard. They heard that, they saw them coming, and they left immediately. What he said about this whole subject is so off. Peacefully patriotic. One other thing. The Unselect Committee, which is basically two horrible Republicans that are all gone now out of office, and Democrats, all Democrats, they destroyed and deleted all of the information they found because they found out we were right. We were right. And they deleted and destroyed all of the information. They should go to jail for that. If a Republican did that, they'd go to jail.
Thank you, President Trump. President Biden, I want to give you a minute.
Insane, dog.
The only person in this stage is a convicted felon. And the fact of the matter is, what he's telling you is simply not true.
For that.
The fact
The
is
irony
that
of
there
it
was
all
no
is
effort on his
insane,
part
dog.
to stop what was going on
Fucking wild.
up in Capitol Hill. And all those people, every one of those who were convicted, deserves to be convicted. The idea that they didn't kill somebody, just went in and broke down doors, broke the windows, occupied offices, turned over desks, turned them over statues. The idea that those people are patriots? Come on. When I asked him the first two debates we had, first time around,
Come on.
I said, will you denounce the Proud Boys? He said, no, I'll tell them to stand by. The idea he's refusing, will you denounce these guys? Will you denounce the people we're talking about now? Will you denounce the people who attacked that Capitol? What are you going to do?
I'm going to give you a minute, President Trump, for a follow-up question I have. After a jury convicted you of 34 felonies last month, you said if reelected, you would, quote, have every right to go after, unquote, your political opponents. You just talked about members of the Select Committee on January 6th going to jail. Your main political opponent is standing on stage with you tonight. Can you clarify exactly what it means about you feeling you have every right to go after your political opponents?
Well, I said my retribution is going to be success. We're going to make this country successful again, because right now it's a failing nation. My retribution is going to be success. But when he talks about a convicted felon, his son is a convicted felon at a very high level. His son is convicted, going to be convicted probably numerous other times. Should have been convicted before, but his Justice Department let the statute of limitations lapse on the most important things. But he could be a convicted felon as soon as he gets out of office. Joe could be a convicted felon with all of the things that he's done. He's done horrible things. All of the death caused at the border. Telling the Ukrainian people that we're going to want $1 billion or you change the prosecutor, otherwise you're not getting $1 billion. If I ever said that, that's quid pro quo.
I mean, he has no other choice.
We're not going to do anything. We're not going to give you $1 billion unless you change your prosecutor having to do with the son. This man is a criminal. This man, you're lucky. You're lucky. I did nothing wrong. We'd have a system that was rigged and disgusting. I did nothing wrong.
Thank you, President Trump. President Biden, you have said, I'm coming right to you, sir. You want to respond? Go ahead. I'll give you a minute to respond.
The idea that I did anything wrong relative to what you're talking about is outrageous. It's simply a lie, number one. Number two, the idea that you have a right to seek retribution against any American just because you're president is wrong. It's simply wrong. No president's ever spoken like that before. No president in our history has spoken like that before. Number three, the crimes that you are still charged with, and think of all the civil penalties you have. How many billions of dollars do you owe in civil penalties for molesting a woman in public, for doing a whole range of things, of having sex with a porn star on the night while your wife was pregnant? I mean, what are you talking about?
He said, you see your face, he was like, okay, that one, I might have did that.
Not expecting that.
You see your face?
Sex with a porn star while your wife was pregnant.
He was like, that was a good one. You got one in there.
Oh, shit, well.
He was like, shit, I did do that
Well,
shit, though.
shit, I mean, shit.
I was like, I'm kind of proud of that one.
Yeah, that shit kind
That's
of
what it
good.
looked like.
I mean, shit.
No.
What the fuck?
Having sex with a porn star on the night while your wife was pregnant? I mean, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I did. Man, I did do that.
That's crazy.
Damn.
Give you a minute, sir.
I didn't have sex with a porn star, number one. Number two, that was a case that was started and moved. They moved a high-ranking official, a DOJ, into the Manhattan DA's office to start that case. That case is going to be appealed and won. We had a very terrible judge, a horrible judge, Democrat. The prosecutor were all high-ranking Democrats, appointed people, and both the civil and the criminal. He basically went after his political opponent because he thought it was going to damage me. But when the public found out about these cases, because they understand it better than he does, he has no idea what these cases are. But when they found out about these cases, you know what they did? My poll numbers went up, way up. You know that because you're reporting it. And we took in more money in the last 2 weeks than we've ever taken in the history of any campaign. I don't think any campaign has ever taken. Hundreds of millions of dollars came pouring in because the public knows it's a scam and it's a guy that's after his political opponent because he can't win fair and square.
Let's turn to concerns that voters have about each of you. President Biden, you would be 86 at the end of your second term. How do you address concerns about your capability to handle the toughest job in the world well into your 80s?
Well, first of all, I spent half my career being criticized being the youngest person in politics. I was the second youngest person ever elected to the United States Senate, and now I'm the oldest. This guy's 3 years younger and a lot less competent. I think that just look at the record. Look at what I've done. Look how I've turned around the horrible situation he left me. As I said, 15 million new jobs, 800,000 manufacturing jobs, more investment in America, over billions of dollars in private investment in enterprises that we are growing. By the way, we brought an awful lot of people. The whole idea of computer chips, we used to have 40% of the market. We invented those chips, and we lost it because he was sending people to find the cheapest jobs overseas and to bring home a product. So I went to South Korea. I convinced Samsung to invest billions of dollars here in the United States. And guess what? Those fabs, they call to build these chips, those fabs pay over $100,000. You don't need a college degree for them. And there's billions, about $40 billion already being invested and being built right now in the United States, creating significant jobs for Americans from all over the world.
President Biden, you have 40 seconds left. Would you like to add anything?
Yeah, I would. The idea that somehow we are this failing country. I never heard a president talk like this before. We're the envy of the world. Name me a single major country president who wouldn't trade places with the United States of America for all our problems and all our opportunities. We're the most progressive country in the world in getting things done. We're the strongest country in the world. We're a country in the world who keeps our word, and everybody trusts us. All of our allies, and those who he coddles up to, from Kim Jong-un, he sends love letters to, and Putin, etc. They don't want to screw around with us.
Thank you. Former President Trump, to follow up, you would be 82 at the end of your second term. What do you say to voters who have concerns about your capabilities to serve?
Well, I took 2 tests, cognitive tests. I aced them, both of them, as you know. We made it public. He took none. I'd like to see him take one, just one, a real easy one. If I go through the first 5 questions, he couldn't do it. But I took 2 cognitive tests. I took physical exams every year.
I'm fucking deceased.
And, you know, we knock on wood wherever we may have wood, that I'm in very good health. I just won 2 club championships, not even senior, 2 regular club championships. To do that, you have to be quite smart, and you have to be able to hit the ball a long way. And I do it. He doesn't do it. He can't hit a ball 50 yards. He challenged me to a golf match. He can't hit a ball 50 yards. I think I'm in very good shape. I feel that I'm in good a shape as I was 25, 30 years ago. Actually, I'm probably a little bit lighter, but I'm in as good a shape as I was years ago. I feel very good. I feel the same. But I was willing to take a cognitive test. And you know what? If I didn't do well, I aced them. Dr. Ronnie Jackson, who's a great guy when he was White House doctor. And then I took another one, a similar one. And one of them said they've never seen anybody ace him.
Thank you. President Biden?
You can see he is 6'5" and only 223 pounds, or 235 pounds.
Biden.
Well, he said 6'4", 200. Well, anyway, that's it. Anyway, just take a look at what he says he is, and take a look at what he is. Look, I'd be happy to have a driving contest with him. I got my handicap, which when I was vice president, down to a 6. But by the way, I told you before, I'm happy to play golf if you carry your own bag. Think you can do it?
He's a 6
Sound
handicap.
like my grandparents arguing.
I was an
You think
8
you carry your own
handicap.
bag there? I go whoop your ass on that golf course right now. What's
I
up?
have, you know how many?
This is what I want.
I've seen this way to the next.
No air. He has no air.
Look at these
You
niggas.
think you can do it?
Look at these niggas.
But by the way, I told you before, I'm happy to play golf if you carry your own bag. Think you can do it?
He's a 6 handicap of all.
I was an 8 handicap.
Yeah.
8.
Never.
But I have, you know how many?
I've seen you swing. I know you swing.
Hey, let's
you know,
not
you
act
know,
Dog,
you
there's
know,
President
no
Trump
way.
was-
There's
Let's
no
not act like
way.
children.
you
to
are
a
a child.
specific concern that
Dog,
voters have
there's
about
no
you.
way.
You can do it.
Will you
There's
pledge
no
tonight
way. There's
that
no
once
way.
all legal
There's
challenges have been
no
exhausted,
There's
that you
no
will
way.
accept
Bruh,
the results
there's
of this
no
election,
way,
regardless of who
dog.
wins?
There's
And
no way.
you will
bro.
say right now that
There's no
political
way.
violence in any form is unacceptable.
What was
Well,
the
I shouldn't
question? I'm
have to
sorry,
say
y'all.
that, but
I'm sorry.
All
Children,
President
Joe.
Trump, we're going to
21
turn
Let's not act like children.
You
to
are
a
a child.
specific concern that voters have about you.
What the fuck is going? What the fuck?
Let's not act like children.
You are a child. You're a child.
It's funny because Biden, like, his level of enthusiasm never changes. Like, it's just,
Dog,
everything is the same.
There is
the
just.
same.
I am
You
at.
are a child.
I don't know what
Think
we
you can do
do.
it?
Listen. I don't know what we do, guys. I don't know what we do. I don't know what we do. What do we do?
I mean, at the end of the day, one of these people are going to be president, so we
Gotta
just deal
keep
with
voting.
This is.
Yeah. We can't do much.
it. It is what
Like-
it is.
We almost at the end, y'all. We almost there.
Not act like children.
You
To
are
a
a child.
specific concern
Oh my God.
that voters have about
Oh
you.
my God.
Still hit the same.
Will you
my
pledge
God.
tonight that once all legal challenges have been exhausted, that you will accept the results of this election, regardless of who wins, and you will say right now that political violence in any form is unacceptable?
Well, I shouldn't have to say that, but of course I believe that. It's totally unacceptable.
Okay.
And if you would see my statements that I made on Twitter at the time, and also my statement that I made in the Rose Garden, you would say it's one of the strongest statements you've ever seen. In addition to the speech I made in front of, I believe, the largest crowd I've ever spoken to, and I will tell you, nobody ever talks about that. They talk about a relatively small number of people that went to the Capitol,
Oh my
and in many
God.
cases were ushered in by the
Don't
police.
minimize
And
the
as Nancy
situation.
Pelosi said, it was her responsibility, not mine. She said that loud and clear. But the answer is, if the election is fair, free, and I want that more than anybody. And I'll tell you something. I wish he was a great president, because I wouldn't be here right now. I'd be at one of my many places enjoying myself. I wouldn't be under indictment because I wouldn't have been his political opponent, because he indicted me because I was his opponent. I wish he was a great president. I would rather have that. I wouldn't be here. I don't mind being here. But the only reason I'm here is he's so bad as a president that I'm going to make America great again. We're going to make America great again. We're a failing nation right now. We're a seriously failing nation. And we're a failing nation because of him. His policies are so bad. His military policies are insane. They're insane. These are wars that will never end with him. He will drive us into World War III, and we're closer to World War III than anybody can imagine. We are very, very close to World War III, and he's driving us there. And Kim Jong-un and President Xi of China, Kim Jong-un of North Korea, all of these, Putin, they don't respect him. They don't fear him. They have nothing going with this gentleman, and he's going to drive us into World War III.
You want a World War III, let him follow and win, and let Putin say, do what you want, NATO. Just do what you want. There's a thing called Article 5. An attack on one is an attack on all, and required response. The idea, I can't think of a single major leader in the world who wouldn't trade places with the job I've done and what they've done. Because we are a powerful nation. We have wonderful people. It's because of the people, not me. It's because of the American people. They're capable of anything, and they step up when they're needed. And right now, we're needed. We're needed to protect the world because our own safety is at stake. And again, you want to have a war, just let Putin go ahead and take Kyiv, make sure they move on, see what happens in Poland, Hungary, and other places along that border. Then you have a war.
President Trump, as I come back to you for a follow-up, the question was, will you accept the results of this election, regardless of who wins?
Just to finish what he said, if I might, Russia, they took a lot of land from Bush. They took a lot of land from Obama and Biden. They took no land, nothing
realize these niggas
from
have
Trump,
enormous
nothing. He knew
ears.
not to do it.
Now, that ears are big.
Not going
as
to play
fuck.
games with me. He knew that. I got along with him very well, but he knew not to play games. He took nothing from me. But now he's going to take the whole thing from this man right here. That's a war that should have never started. It would have never started ever with me. And he's going to take Ukraine. And, you know, you asked me a question before, would you do this with... He's got us in such a bad position right now with Ukraine and Russia. Because Ukraine's not winning that war. He said, I will never settle until such time. They're running out of people. They're running out of soldiers. They've lost so many people. It's so sad. They've lost so many people, and they've lost those gorgeous cities with the golden domes that are 1,000 years old, all because of him and stupid decisions. Russia would have never attacked if I were
President Trump,
president.
the question was, will you accept the results of the election, regardless of who wins? Yes or no, please.
If it's a fair and legal and good election, absolutely. I would have much rather accepted these, but the fraud and everything else was ridiculous. And if you want, we'll have a news conference on it in a week, or we'll have another one of these in a week. But I will absolutely, there's nothing I'd rather do. It would be much easier for me to do that than I'm running again. I wasn't really going to run until I saw the horrible job he did. He's destroying our country. I would be very happy to be someplace else, in a
That's
nice
bullshit.
location
As soon as
someplace.
this nigga
And again,
lost.
no indictments,
Joe
no
Biden
political
didn't even have a
opponent stuff,
chance to
because it's the
start
only
his
way he thinks he
presidency
can win.
before he said
But
he'll be back.
unfortunately, it's
So
driven
that's
up my
bullshit.
numbers and driven them up to a very high level because the people understand it.
Well, let's see what your numbers are when this election is over. Let's see. You're a whiner. When you lost the first time, you continued, you appealed and appealed to courts all across the country. Not one single court in America said any of your claims had any merit, state or local, none. But you continue to provoke this lie about somehow there's all this misrepresentation, all this stealing. There's no evidence of that at all.
You saw it fall.
And I tell you what,
Maybe behind
I
the
doubt
camera.
whether you'll accept it because you're such a
Might have been on
whiner.
the floor, I don't
The
know.
idea, if you lose again, you accepting anything, you can't stand the loss. Something snapped in you when you lost the last time.
We'll be.
Oh, damn, there you go.
Get that nigga.
That was tough to watch.
Oh my God.
Somebody said Biden can't walk up the stairs. That's wild.
What the
Yeah.
fuck?
He
All
can
right, what
definitely
y'all?
walk up the stairs.
What y'all saying about this, man? Whoa, is this all this shit that's been happening since we've been watching this?
Yeah, from around here.
Wow. He's 34 weeks, so you know he's 34 weeks. As a
Wait,
Canadian,
is that the beginning of it?
yeah,
right.
since they had
Oh,
they've
yeah, it
been
was.
commenting
That
the
is the
whole
beginning.
time.
The
Yeah.
Sheedy asked if you know Nick Bonin because he follows you on RG.
Yes. We're familiar with Nick Bonin. Why? He said a bunch of other things. He said for a week, just so you know. As a Canadian, I hate my prime minister, but nothing compares to the predicament y'all are in. Damn, this is wild. Holy shit. This debate shows so many people why he shouldn't be president, and this is what he did in office. He would sleep. Holy fuck. He's 81, just so you all know. Yeah, we're very aware that nigga is old. Why y'all always only have old ass presidents? That's not the case. That's not the case all the time.
I just want to be illegal. I don't give a fuck about nothing.
Imagine if you have legal weed but no money to buy it was because the economy is crushed. That's insane. Imagine clapping for a president because they made a comeback sentence.
That is kind of crazy.
That is insane, dog. Oh my God, Key Nation, he's not wrong. What you talking about for Swole or damn? We should have been watching this shit when we was. It's okay. I'm Biden. When I hit that weed a little too much, I'm dead. The military didn't like Biden at all. Okay, so Trump was right in that. Biden gave Afghanistan our weapons and a bunch OUR, Henny Harden, and a bunch of other things for them to have. Okay, he's not wrong. Both are supporting genocidal acts. Let's not act like they are being fair to the outside world. Trump made peace with a lot of other countries. Yeah, that's what I heard. Well, not peace, but then also a lot of other countries were scared of that nigga too. That's
Maybe
what I heard. Agreements. He shut Kim Jong-un up. Trump said that he will keep supporting Israel to finish the job, which I completely understand if he sides with Israel because Trump is a businessman and the Jewish community is definitely very heavily they cover the business industry, so that would make so much sense for him to side with them. What job he wants them to finish? Keep bombing kids?
Be patient, man. Be patient. He made peace with Korea, and they were one of the biggest enemies. Yes, he did. He went to the hospital and thanked them for their service. Y'all niggas really was talking a lot about this shit. That's
Yeah, they
kinda
was going crazy, bro. That's what I was saying. We should have had this up. I didn't even know.
It's how USA governments try to keep their position at the top by wars and supporting others to keep doing wars, and that's the sad fact. Also, Trump used Palestinian as a slur to go for Biden, and Biden looked so offended because he was being called a Palestinian. That says it all, to be honest, for me. Interesting. In the end, both are going to do bad as president, but also some little good. Okay. And with the path that the USA government is following, USA is getting isolated politically and strategically, while Russia and China gain power over USA. Interesting. Like y'all taxes are going to fund Israel instead of free healthcare like any other country in the world.
There's gives and takes to that free healthcare from what I've been Did you get it? Because I was just finna grab the motherfucker with you.
No.
There's give and takes
It's
to
like
that free healthcare too shit that free healthcare shit too though, because everybody has free healthcare, so like the wait for like major surgery is like 6 months to a year, and it can get like real bad is what I heard. So there's give and takes to the free healthcare shit.
As a non-American citizen, I see that both choices are bad, Biden or Trump. The agenda is the same. Congress is being invaded by Zionist lobbies, and you don't have free choice to make whatever you want as a state, nor freedom of expression. If you see how police is arresting students and teachers for protesting, I'm triggered because USA government was good after World War II and actually had good intentions towards the world. This election is trash. It's crazy how much dirt they have to use against each other. It says 1,000 words. They're like two people that cheated on each other and arguing who's a better partner.
Facts.
Yeah, the election was rigged last time, LOL. What am I watching? This can't be real.
Shit.
Trump was like, that was a throwback. That night was crazy, LOL.
Oh, he's talking about the
porn
star, yeah.
The press saying I didn't have sex with the porn star is crazy. That is crazy.
Yeah, it's wild as fuck.
This part is my favorite. You are not the strongest country in the world anymore, Mr. Biden. Biden can't walk upstairs. It's wild. That's messed up.
Fucking wild.
This is a circus. Facts. They arguing golf stats. This is the craziest I've seen all year. Did Nanny P say that for real? Nancy P? Motherfuckers really out here politicking. Ace, you're late.
What's good, gang?
I threw something in Skip, so do I still lose my mind, Skip? I guess you don't lose it.
Nah, you don't lose it.
But how you doing? What's going on, bro? What's been happening?
How's life?
What you think about this presidential election?
Fucking debate, dog. This shit is fucking insane, bruh. Friends, your lasting thoughts, final thoughts, opinions on the debate, where we're at, the state of the world, our lives. Are we gonna survive in the next 4 years? Will somebody nuke us by the time that they take presidency within the 4 years?
Well, the thing is, if somebody nuke us, then everybody getting nuked.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So it's just a wrap for all of us.
Yeah.
So how much does that really matter?
Well, what is your take on that? Do you think somebody would do it?
No.
Okay.
No.
But
comment.
okay.
No.
But what's your final thoughts on this whole thing? The presidential debate in itself.
I still believe, for the most part, unless they actually start a World War III, nothing is gonna change that much.
Okay.
Like it's just it is what it is.
Gotcha.
No president has really affected my life that drastically. Other things have, but the presidential election, not so much. I do think it looks crazy for the brand of America.
The fuck did that happen? I could have swore I got that.
But it kind of just is what it is. I also hope this is a reality check in a way, and people kind of realize that we maybe needed to take this a little more serious.
Yep.
And elect better officials for president.
I agree.
So I think we kind of
will you do this in the next election?
I hope so, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I think we just got to ride this one out.
Yeah.
And do better next time. Yeah.
Valid. Carisha?
I don't have any.
No lasting thoughts on everything.
Nope. You said my name wrong, but it's all right.
Well, I was trying to, because I knew that
It's okay.
I knew I needed to say the ending, but I guess I didn't do it.
I can hear you trying.
Yeah, I guess
And
I
I
didn't.
respect that.
I should have said Kurt, and then I should have stopped, and then I should have said Isha. But I was trying to do it in a sense where I was like trying to separate it, but like not. I don't know.
It's all right.
I tried my best.
It's all right.
But I got it. Kurt, Isha.
Yeah, you already know it.
You said that you don't got
No.
valid. For me, yeah, nah, these niggas is trash. Both of them. Donald Trump, Joe Biden, both of them trash. I will say though, looking at the debate in its entirety, which it wasn't its entirety, we just watched certain moments, but looking at the debate, The clips that were clipped for Joe Biden, it made it seem, they made him seem like worse than what he actually was in the debate. Like if you paid attention to the questions and paid attention to his answers, you could tell he was old. Yeah, he was glitching. Yeah, he wasn't able to form a complete sentence in certain instances or whatever. But the concept was there, right? His messaging was there. And that's what you can understand by watching the debate holistically. The clips, they can easily be taken out of context. You could look at that shit where he was terribly glitching and didn't know what the fuck he was saying. You could look at that shit and be like, oh my God, this is probably what he was doing throughout the entire debate. Which he kind of was to an extent, but it wasn't to the point to where it was hard for him or hard for us to understand what his points were. You know what I'm saying? So I will say that I took that out of the debate. That being said, that still doesn't mean that he won the debate, because I don't think he did. I do think holistically that Trump won the debate just because of, one, the delivery of his points, the messaging of his points, the strength of his points. All of that was kind of lackluster in response or in comparison to what Trump said, despite the fact that he was deflecting, despite the fact that he was lying, despite the fact that he's a convicted felon, has been convicted of 34 counts of felony charges, which is something that could have easily been used to Biden's situation. But like, he's old and he doesn't know how to he doesn't know how to form these types of like arguments in order to use that to his advantage. So because of that, he lost terribly, which fucking sucks. But yeah,
that you would say that, because I think they both lost. But I think that if you listen to Trump and you know he's lying and he's bullshitting, but even though Biden stuttered and he's glitching and he's not putting his sentences together well, even though what he's saying is making sense and he's communicating some points, he's just not doing it well.
right.
I think they both lost, but that's interesting.
Yeah.
That you still say Trump wins even though he's bullshit.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of bullshit.
There was a lot of deflections, but I mean, I think the same could be said. So the same, I didn't mention it for Biden's part, but I believe the same could be said for Biden. That he was deflecting and that he was saying certain things that didn't necessarily hold a lot of merit as well. And that his there was concepts and there was specific things that he said that you can definitely understand. But I do think overall, the way that Trump, yes, there was, but I was pointing out the inconveniences of both parts, of both sides. Both were doing the same shit, but to me, it seemed as though that certain a lot of the topics that were being asked, or the questions that were being asked to Trump, I believe that he provided, even though it wasn't like he didn't expound on it or he didn't deliver it in like an intricate way, I believe that he did have like a good basis and a good foundation to what he was saying, as opposed to Biden. And also too, the things that he said to counteract what Biden said was kind of like a gut punch, or kind of like a good way to kind of, I think, have leverage over what Biden did or who he was in terms of what he said.
Trump
in his
wasn't even answering the questions.
The questions that they
having
asked.
to re-ask him the question.
Yeah, I think you listen to more of his delivery, but not what he actually said. His delivery was clear. Like, you can understand what he's saying, but he didn't say nothing.
And I think that's partially how he won initially. Like, he does that.
He just likes to talk and bring up points that are popular or that would spark engagement without actually answering questions that's important.
Yeah.
And because a lot of America have like low attention span and want to be entertained majority of the time, that works.
Yeah, I think he was Well, we didn't see the whole thing. Holistically. Yeah, she's right. Yeah, we didn't see the whole thing holistically, and Trump wasn't answering certain questions. But I do think that the basis and the foundation of what Trump was saying, I think you can identify that though, in certain things. I based off of what he was saying, that's what I got from it. But I mean, I could definitely be wrong though, for sure.
For sure.
I feel like if Trump went at the question first and then went at him, it would have made him look a little better. And that's what I'm saying, right? That's what I think. That's what highlights the deflection in a lot of the things, because he did eventually, like, That's what I said. So like when they were asking a question and I was pretty much screaming out, nigga, answer the question. He eventually got to it, but it took him answering Biden, saying all this other shit, deflecting, going around the question. But then eventually he got to what he was trying to say, and established what where he stood on that question. But it just took him a minute to do it, and so because he did that, I think that can like ultimately, that's not a good argument. That's what I'm saying. That's the inconveniences of all of his arguments that he was saying. And there was also some points where with Biden, like I said, the points in his concepts or whatever were like, they were adamant in that you could understand them to an extent, but there were also some parts where it's like, nigga, what are you saying here? And then certain things he said had absolutely nothing to do with the question that was being asked, and he was saying other. Now Trump did that too, but like Joe Biden more so to me than Trump, based off of what we saw.
I feel like they both were hard to follow in different ways, for sure.
Yeah.
Both of them were challenging to listen to.
Yeah.
They both sucked.
Yeah.
And to me, they
Without a
both
doubt.
lost.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see a clear winner. I think they both lost.
It's
Like,
crazy
this is
because
bad
if you
for everybody.
I will say that if you look at the majority of the public opinion, I had to get that nigga. They all said that Trump won.
Not surprised.
Yeah.
Interesting.
We're talking about America.
Facts. All right, guys. So what we got next? What we got going?